on to the Eels now, and another team that are really hoping for a bounce-back year after the 2022 grand final appearance and then finishing at 10th last season. James, how do you see the 2023 season unravel, I guess, for Parramatta last year? Where did it start? Where did it finish? And will it come back into its own sort of shine this year?
Well, let's not forget, they played in the grand final this season 2022. I thought the occasion maybe got the better of them that day. Penrith Panthers, the champion outfit that they were, just started unbelievably well, and the game was over by half-time. Now, did the Eels perhaps look back at that season and count it as a successful one? Yes, they probably did, and they should have as well. But you know, all this talk of were they in a window, are they in the window? Who knows? I think personally, if they hit their straps and they can get a little bit of the rub of the green and a little bit of luck, they can get back into that window. But if you look back at last year, they had a horrible start. Their draw was very unfavourable for Parramatta. They had that last gasp win against the Penrith Panthers, where Cleary kicked a 2-point field goal from inside his own. Yeah, and then I can't even remember what happened, but I know that Parramatta somehow won that game in Golden Point. So the proof is there that they can do it. They can go toe-to-toe with this back-to-back-to-back championship team. They even beat them quite convincingly at the back end of the season. Yeah. But for the Eels, it's about consistency, and they'd like to, I think, if they were to go back to last year, have that start those first 5 games all over again. Yes, granted, they were playing teams consistently off the back of the buys. I'm not too sure, Paulie, you'll probably tap into their strength of schedule.
I've got some stats
coming into this year. And perhaps if you were to look back and if that wasn't the case, they may have performed better later on in the season, because that does take the juice out of you. Having those tough games, I think they were only losing by a try or less from memory, and they were so close, and that just doesn't drain you physically, but it drains you emotionally as well, especially the fact that they were coming off a grand final and lots of external pressure about this window that they were supposed to be in or out of.
Well, that's what I mean, that window. And also Sean Lane were injured for quite a fair bit. They're your main playmakers in there. Add to that your RCG suspension at the end of the year, which took a lot of bite out of their dog in that as well too. Paulie, what are some of the other stats that we should be looking for when we look at this draw for the Eels?
James, you mentioned it right. So we delve even deeper. Those first 5 games last year, the average win of their opponent was 15.4, whereas the league average is under 12. So they had it very tough. The stats back that up. This year, the average wins of their opponent from last season is 10.6. So now they go in with, perhaps you could argue, a softer schedule than the average in the league. Can they win a couple more of those early games? They went 1 and 4, as you said. They only missed the 8 by a single win.
And they beat the champions twice.
That's right.
Does that
that must be so frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, you know you can get it done. And they've got a style that can beat this unbelievable, talented, well-drilled team in the Panthers, but they just have too many hiccups, and I think Brad Arthur will be looking to iron out those problems, and he'll be pointing to those facts that we can beat the Penrith Panthers, but why can't we play that style of football each and every week? Like, it's easy to say behind the desk, very difficult to do, but that's what Brad Arthur will be trying to tap into.
Well, you spoke about the Bulldogs-South rivalry when you were a player there as well too, and that was a game that you loved to get up for, so it'd be interesting to see that sort of resonate with the players, obviously, that Penrith Panthers.
Oh, no doubt there's something about the Eels when they play the Panthers. It seems to tap into something differently.